Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. If you guys are back for another video, you guys are probably interested in hearing what I have to say about the Yuletide Titan event again. I did have a video earlier today highlighting some things about the Yuletide event, mainly saying for a quick recap that Sir Nicholas is probably still a decent champion for most people progressing through the game. His kit is fine, although boring, and power creep is still serviceable in today's game. He can still carry you through Doom Tower waves or wave-based content, faction wars, make a clan boss team, Ultra Nightmare clan boss team, of course, with him. So he can still be useful. But of course, with so many champions in the game and so many, late game players, I guess, he might not find a place in regular use, but he's still a decent champion. With that said, the Yuletide event is also pretty decent value. There's some pretty high value rewards in that event. So it is probably worth considering to go for it. In this video, I'm going to break down the first week of events, how we want to do our points, skip our points, and we'll figure out exactly what we need to do to get Sir Nicholas or just to get the rewards that you guys want to target for. So let's get started. Let's jump into the news here first. I want to make sure you guys are aware that the details of the event are here. The event lasts until from the 6th to the 26th. We know that Lady Noelle is the Fusion Champion. It's confirmed here, upcoming festive Fusion Champion, so it's confirmed. After that, they did mention that there is 500 free snow points here, daily free offer. I'm not 100% sure what this means or whether this is on top of the total amount up for grabs. I'm not 100% sure. However, we will assume that it is part of the 25 up for grabs, but our goal doesn't change, right? Our goal is to get 2,000 for the champion, and they've given us a little bit of detail here. 1,400 of the snow points will come in the first half of the events, and then 1,100 will come in the back half. They've given us the first week of events already, so we can actually break down this 1,400 snow points in the events currently shown to us. So let's jump right into that. And of course, this gives me an opportunity to use my new fancy stylist here. So hello with the happy face. We'll be using green here today for a little bit of contrast. So what happened here? What is the known value? So known values right now, we have 300 for the Summon Rush. We know that this first half of events will be a total of 1,400 points, guys. 1,400 points. 300 points for the Summon Rush that's currently active. We know that the Artifact Enhancement event is only 50. In previous Artifact Enhancement events, we've seen like a bit of a mix. So that's kind of like where they adjust point values. We've seen it go up to 100 before. So in this case, it's only 50. I think that's a slight negative, to be honest. We have the Classic Arena takedown here for 20. The reason why it's 20 and not the usual 30 for this one is because this one has the fragment champion fragments at the top reward, whereas usually at the top reward we get 30 fragments for the Titan events usually. So after that, we know that there's actually a Heroes Path event coming. This is something that I didn't see initially, but we know that it's here, and we know that it's coming in the start of the week after the Summon Rush. So what could it be? This is almost certainly going to be a Dungeon Diver, okay? Because there's no Dungeon Diver active during this time, it's almost certainly going to be Dungeon Diver related. The second component to this could be Soul Stones, although we just had a pretty big Soul Stone event recently. So it could be Soul Stones, or it could be more shards. So it starts exactly at the end of the Summon Rush. So it could be back-to-back shard events. So just be prepared for that. I don't expect anything super juicy in the Heroes Path event. They didn't specify anything in the details, but that doesn't mean that there is nothing. But I think with the short notice, I think they probably would specify if it was like Sir Nick's soul or something like that. In which case, Sir Nicholas's 5-star soul wouldn't be that valuable because he doesn't need accuracy. A 4-star soul would be good for crit damage, but he doesn't need accuracy or anything like that. So this Heroes Path to me is just strictly for points. How many points are most likely in this path? So we've seen various path events with, various levels of points ranging from 2 to 300. Personally, I think this one is probably just going to be 200. And then moving down to the dungeon events, it's actually not too bad because then we have a, multi-day Dungeon Diver here, and then we have multi-day dungeons up for farming. So it's kind of like your choice where you want to commit your energy. But we have the Fire Knight, Spider, and Ice Golem up here against the Dungeon Diver Hero Path. That's just my speculation, but it's it's probably very accurate, to be honest. And we know that these are turn attack tournaments. They're specified already, so you can kind of see here this little TUR, but they're already specified in descriptions. Usually turn attacks are a little bit more usually a bit more points allocated to them. If they were special, like epic only or anything like that, they would have specified already. And if they were epic only turn attack, they would have a lot of points associated with them. This happened before in the past, but just normal turn attack is probably just a slightly higher than the normal. And the normal is about 30. So I would say these are about 50 each, right? So 50 each, we have 3 slots of them. And then we have a champion training event here as well. We do have primal quartz here. And then this is actually really nice information that they're giving us here. They're giving us the champion chase details right up front here. So we know this is going to be a champion chase. So they're following the usual pattern of summon rush, champion chase. That means that the fusion most likely will start here. And this will most likely be a summon rush. So on the Friday, the 20th, the fusion will probably start. And then it'll probably be a summon rush to start the fusion, which is pretty normal. We don't know if there's going to be snow points or fragments or whatever in here, but I assume it's going to be a mix. It's going to be a mix of stuff in here. If you guys don't plan on going for the fusion, you guys don't want to pick up the fusion pieces along the way, right? So I would recommend front loading your points in that case, right? If you're planning to go for a fusion, then you can consider going for this back summon rush here, because it's going to be part of the Sir Nicholas Titan event, right? Then you can pick up the fusion pieces as well as the Titan snow points as well during this back summon rush. With that being said, that's a nice little bit of info there. We're not 100% sure how many points that's going to be. Let's work out the other known variables first. So assuming that the next artifact enhancement event will be 50 points as well. So we're just going to allot 50 here. And then we have another classic arena tournament. Here, I'm going to allot 30 points because it's no longer part of any fusion. It's probably going to be the top threshold for the arena. And then that means it's going to go back to its usual 30-point total. So if we're going to do like, some quick mathematics here, let's do some quick mathematics here. So we're going to do 50 plus, 50 plus 300 plus 20 plus 50 plus 50 plus 200 plus 50 plus 30 plus 50. So that gives us a total of 800 points spoken for. So the remaining 600 points needs to be divvied up between the champion training event, the champion chase event, and the warm-up event. So personally, I would think it's probably going to be a standard 300 for the champion chase, a standard 200 for the training, and a generous 100 for the warm-up. And that's going to be our 1400. So here you can kind of figure out what you can skip, right? So if you can skip 500, if there's going to be 2,500 total snow points, this is what you're looking at in terms of a roadmap for the first week. All right, guys. So keep that in mind when you guys are making your decisions. Also, keep in mind that we do have a summon rush probably coming next week with the mixed bag of fusion pieces as well as snow points. I think these point totals are pretty accurate, to be honest. 200 for a champion training, 200 for the hero's path. Like I could see maybe 300 for the hero's path, maybe 100 for a champion training, like if they want to do it that way, but I don't think so. 200, 200, 300 for the chase makes perfect sense. The summoning ones, they always weigh a little bit more. 30 for the regular arena tournament makes sense as well. 100 for the warm-up. I mean, they could do something cheeky and put 50 in the warm-up and make the artifact enhancement event 100. I could see that because artifact enhancement event is usually 100 and it's broken up 30-70 in terms of the points, but they could just keep it consistent and go 50-50 here. But we don't know. It's up for grabs. But I think this is a pretty strong layout for what we can expect for the first week. Make sure you guys plan accordingly on what you guys want to skip or what you guys can skip. Personally, I would be concerned about this hero's path. If you guys have shards right now and you guys are going to do the Titan event, I would say pull your shards for the summon rush. Hopefully you guys are going for the fusion. Then you guys can pick up the fusion pieces as well as the snow points at the same time. But that would be, that would be a 7 sacred shards for a total of 300 points. I think is not too bad. Like as long and you're doing the fusion as well, it's not too bad, right? We can do some quick speculation on the second week, assuming that we have another shard event, which we will 100% have. Probably going to be worth 300 points. So out of the remaining 1100 points in the back half, 300 are spoken for. So there's 800 points left. You have to assume that there's going to be at least one more CT event. So for another 200 points. And honestly, they could do a lot of things here. They could put a deck. They could put a deck in here. We'd probably have to assume there has to be at least another artifact enhancement event here. And again, that could be 50 to 100 points. At least one more arena tournament here as well. It's just the usual events have to happen, right? And then here we probably have Dragon. Dragon would be here. Dragon turn attack would definitely be in the second week. And then probably a Dungeon Diver. So you have a DD here as well. So these are most likely going to be like given. So the Champion Training probably 200. The Dungeon Diver probably 200. So you have 700 spoken for, so you have 400 split amongst a bunch of other events. So for example, Dragon could be 50 because it's turn attack. They could make 100, 100 artifact enhancement. Arena could be 30, for example. But yeah, just to give you guys a rough estimation of what we can expect for the second week. So what kind of game plan can we make from this? So basically, the first week, I'm pretty confident that these are probably going to be the point totals. If you guys are not going for the fusion, and you guys want to go for Sir Nick, I mean, I guess you could maybe, I guess you guys could like forget this 300. You guys could forget this 300 and move on. Wait for a champion chase, and then you can pick up the 300 here. Hopefully there's no shard event here for the hero's path, of course. And then after that, just look for the second week. You can't really skip too much, right? Like you can skip 500 out of the total 2,500 available. I'm not 100% sure whether we're going to get the freebies as part of that 2,500. It should be part of it, I think. So I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. Based on what I have written here, the 500 freebie is on top of 2,500. So yeah, that's actually good if it was the case. But yeah, I'm not too sure, guys. So that's something to be aware of as well. All right, that's all I got for you guys now. Hopefully you guys found that informative. Hopefully it helps you guys out in your planning for the upcoming week's events. Doesn't look like anything too crazy. We just don't know what is exactly in the hero's path. Like I said, it's going to be almost guaranteed that it's going to be Dungeon Diver. And then the second part, we're not too sure. Could be soul stones, could be shards. We're hoping that it's neither, I guess. And then it's artifact enhancement or something. But there is an artifact enhancement event in the middle of the hero's path. So most likely not artifact enhancement. Most likely it's going to be probably shards, to be honest. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think and what you guys are planning to do. Let me know if I made a mistake along the way. And I'll happily correct that in the video. But yeah, have a great day. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend planned. And I'll see you guys in the next one.